Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Balaram Jayanti ki Jai. All glories to Lord Balaram. Please join us for Jai Radha Madhav prayers. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yashodanandana Brajjana Ranjana. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Yamuna Tira Vanachari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Radha Govinda, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Radha Gopinath, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Shyam Sundar, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Shyam Sundar, Radha Shyam Sundar, Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Radhe, Jaya Shri Radhe. Jaya Gauranitai, 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 Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Nitai Go Premanande Hari Hari Bol Jai Om Vishnupat Parivasha Shoshishma Shila Esi Bhaktivedanta Swami Shila Prabhupada Ki Jai Jai Om Vishnupat Parivasha Shoshishma Shila Esi Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Anant Koti Vaishnav Vind Ki Jai Namachar Shila Hridhas Thakur Ki Jai प्रेम से कहो जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की जय श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपी गोश्याम कुंद राधा कुंद गिरि गोवर्धन की जय दधाम वृंदावन धाम की जय नवद्वीप मायापुर धाम की जय जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की जय गंगा मई यमुना मई की जय भक्ति देवी तुलसी महारानी की जय अनंत कौरि वैष्णव विंद की जय सवेद भक्त विंद की जय श्री श्री वैष्णवाचार्य विंद की जय श्री श्री राधा श्याम सुंदर की जय श्री श्री राधा दामोदर की जय श्री जगन्नाथ सुभद्रा बलदेव की जय श्री श्री लक्ष्मी नारायण की जय श्री श्री गणताय की जय ब्रह्म डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन की जय संकीर्तन महायज्ञ की जय गद्दार श्रीमद् भागवतम की जय निताय गो प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल All glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So when we look at this auspicious day, Lord Balaram is our Adi Guru. He is the original Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. Lord Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You know, he is the Purusha, Swarat, completely independent. Yet at the same time, Lord Balaram is the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead. So he's showing by his example how to serve Krishna. Acharyas reveal that there is no difference between Krishna and Balaram. Both are equally potent. So Lord Balaram has all the potency of Lord Krishna. Yes, even Rup Madhurya, Venu Madhurya, Leela Madhurya, and Prem Madhurya. Yes, those four as well. Yet at the same time, his mood is different, his appearance is different. So we always hear that his complexion is like of a rainy cloud. Then what's the complexion of Lord Balaram? Lord Balaram's complexion is that of a spring cloud, the bright white cloud. That's his complexion. And he is Adi Guru, which means when we perform, Vyas Puja in honor of, Shri Vyasdev or even our spiritual masters, we have to understand that they are representative of Lord Balaram. They have been endowed with this Guru Tattva, and this Guru Tattva comes from Lord Balaram. And so he's Adi Guru. We all know, Guru Govind dono khade kake lagu paye, balihari Guru apnu Govindiyo milaye. That when Guru and Govind dono both are present, then whose shelter should I take? We should take shelter of Guru. First, because of Guru, because of Lord Balaram, we are able to get the shelter of Lord Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So please join us for the invocation prayer so that we seek blessings from Lord Balaram and sing his glories, who always wants to glorify Lord Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiriyet Shavatam Swakatha Krishna Punya Shamana Kirtanaha Hridayantastho Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhasatam Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Uttam Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nashtiki. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So we have to understand who is Balaram, Shri Balaram. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Leela, there is a beautiful revelation that has given. Sarvavatari Krishna Swayam Bhagavan Tanhara Dvitiya Deha Shri Balaram. So Krishna is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. And Shri Balaram is his first expansion. So again, a second body. His second body is not different from Krishna. And then in Adi Leela, this narration of Lord Balaram, his glorification continues. Ekai swarupa donhe bhinna matra kaya adya kaya vyaha vyuha Krishna Leela sahaya. So they are one in identity, differing in form, and Balaram assists Krishna in his transcendental pastimes. And we know from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's pastimes as how Lord Balaram was constantly devoted to serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission, his desire. So again, he is showing us as how to take Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instruction as command. Your will is my command. Sometimes we say that. This empowerment comes from Lord Balaram. Please join us for Prabhupada Pranati so that we can seek blessings from Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas who are representative of Lord Balaram. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gaurvani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatya Deshitarine Om Ajnana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langhayate girim yat kripa tadaham vande Shri Gurum dina taranam. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So in Srimadbhagavatam, when Shukdev Goswami is revealing the effect of this age, sometimes people are thinking, okay, Lord Balaram appeared as Dauji, big brother, the elder brother of Lord Krishna. And what is his significance in current times? This is just the tendency of people. So we have to seek this in right perspective. What is the effect of this Kali age? Prayanalpayusha sabhya kalavasmin yuge janaha manda sumanda matyo manda bhagya upradita. That this Kali age, these are the symptoms of Kali age. Prayana alpayu. Alpayu means short lives. People have short lives. The lifespan is 100 or less. And now it's coming down to more like 50 or so. Kalavasmin yuge jana. And people are quarrelsome by nature. They're always thinking of pointing fingers at others in a fiery way. This is the fire representation. Manda, they are lazy. Sumanda matyo, less intelligent. Manda matyo is less intelligent. Sumanda matyo is very less intelligence. Manda bhagya, and they are unlucky. And upraduta, and they're constantly disturbed because of anxiety, lamenting over the past and aspiring for the future. So this is lamentation, aspiration, living either in the past or living in the future, forgetting to live in the present moment. While Lord Krishna clearly says in Bhagavad Gita, Brahma bhuta prasannatma na shochati na kankshati sama sarveshu bhuteshu mad bhaktim labhate param. That one who's in a Brahma bhuta state, he is prasannatma, he is always joyful. Now when you think of joyful, where is this joy coming from? This is coming from Lord Balaram. Ram means happiness, bliss actually. He is the one, when we chant the Lord's name, and again, Bal means strength, spiritual strength, not the physical strength. Srila Prabhupada and the Acharyas reveal. It is the spiritual strength, the empowerment to be able to serve, not to be able to get the position, but to be able to fulfill the desire of Lord Krishna, keeping Lord Krishna in the center. And then Ram means all happiness. So Brahma Bhuta, one who is situated in Brahman. But then this personality is Lord Krishna and Lord Brahman, they are Para-Brahman, they are beyond Brahman. Para-Brahma, Param Dhama, Pavitram Paramam Bhavan. So even Arjuna realizes that they are much beyond the Brahman. Yeah? Aham Brahmasmi, sometimes Mayavadis say for that we are Brahman, yes. We living entities are Brahman, but we have fallen under the clutches of Maya. Why? Because is it Maya that is vicious? No, it is our desire to enjoy away from Krishna. Now we have, we are minuscule in front of Krishna. He is unlimited, we are limited. But wait a minute, Lord Balaram is also unlimited. Yet at the same time, what is his desire? He is equal to Krishna when it comes to potency. His desire to serve Krishna in all states. So much so that he is revealing. So Lord Balaram is the potency who enables, he is the paraphernalia on the Aarti. He is the whole Vajradham. He expands the whole Vrindavan. While he is appearing as elder brother of Lord Krishna, he also expands as Ananga Manjari, the younger sister of Radharani. Now Radharani's position and Lord Balaram, they are not in competition. They are they're complementary to each other. So Krishna, he gives us knowledge. He gives us that sambandha gyan, that he is the Supreme Father and we are his children. And Lord Balaram is showing us how to approach Father. Right? So he is Abhideya from that perspective, or Sandhini, we can say. So he is creating the whole infrastructure. He is creating even the Aarti paraphernalia as Lord Balaram. Even the Govardhan is expansion of Balaram. The material creation and the Purusha avatars we talk about so many times are other expansions of Lord Balaram, because everything else is emanating from Krishna. Now think of it this way. Let's see. That we hear in Brahma Samhita, the very invocation prayer. Ishvara Paramaha Krishna Sachin Ananda Vigraha Anadir Adir Govinda Sarva Karan Karanam. So Lord Krishna is the Ishvara Paramaha Krishna, is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Satchidananda Vigraha. So Vigraha means he has a form, and his form is that of Sat, eternity, Chit, full knowledge, and Ananda, bliss. Now again, there is a reference coming. If a person is just alone, where will they derive Anand from? Where will they derive happiness from? So Lord Krishna, he derives happiness because of Balaram. So he is the Sandhini, he is the one who's making all this arrangement. In material world, let's look at some reflection, how people look at it in their material life. When parents have children, just, when mothers are expecting children, many of you have been mothers, and you know that the moment you're expecting a child, you become very joyful, very anticipatory. Yes, it's very fearsome state, but there is a happiness aspect to it. And when mother gives birth to a child, that love of mother is actually a perverted reflection of Lord Balaram's mood of service. The child hasn't come like, I'm the CEO of this house. No, but mother is fully dedicated to that child, the welfare of the child. She takes care. She's not getting any income, right? What is she getting? She's getting that ananda. This ananda is because of the empowerment of Lord Balaram. We have to look at it from that perspective. And I'll make a few more co-hosts just so that if anyone joins in, please do admit them. Hare Krishna. So, who is Lord Balaram? That becomes a very important question. And as these verses from Chaitanya Charitamrita, they reveal that he is non-different from Krishna. His form is different, but then he is the spring cloud, the bright white snowy cloud. That's the complexion of Lord Balaram. Lord Krishna, he wears yellow garments, basically golden reflection, because Radharani's color is golden. Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi. Lord Balaram wears blue garments because Lord Krishna's color is bluish. So that's the reason he wears blue. So we have to see as how he's showing by his various ways. And Srila Prabhupada describes him as Sarvita Godhead. That's also very important because basically, when we look at greatness, this may be the most revolutionary definition of greatness. The highest person after Krishna, who is equal to Krishna, is not trying to become independent of Krishna, right? He's trying to find more ways to serve Krishna. For devotees, this is bhakti. And someone who is new to devotees, the universal principle is equally powerful, right? True leadership is not measured by how many people work for me, but by how much responsibility I am willing to carry for others. And that is what is being revealed by Lord Balaram. Now it's very interesting that sometimes we pray, "Oh my dear Lord, give me strength." We chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And the meaning of Mahamantra is, "My dear Mother Radha, my dear Lord Krishna, please engage me in your service." But we forget there is Ram also. This is Balram. Yes, Srila Prabhupada said that it can also be referred to Lord Ramchandra because all Vishnu Tattvas are non-different. Collectively, all Vishnu Tattvas are referred to as one person in a singular form because Lord Krishna is inconceivable. He can expand unlimitedly due to his internal potency. Yes, he is absolute truth. Yet at the same time, when he expands, all these personalities are all considered as part of Krishna. And so they're not different from Krishna, not part of Krishna. They are Krishna. Yet at the same time, we see that their activities are different. While Krishna is in Vrindavan, he never steps out of Vrindavan. He is having wonderful pastime with Vrindavan Vasis. And all that Vrindavan, the Vrindavan Vasis, they are manifestation of expansion of Lord Balaram. And the Vishnu Tattvas category ones. Yes, there are Jiva Tattvas also there. They're also living entities who are eternal servant and who are constantly serving the Lord. Like we have the example of Ratnamala, who desired to become Lord's mother, and so she appeared as Putana. And when she gave milk, along with the wish, Lord accepted her motherly form and he made her associate of Yashoda Mai. Yes. So this is the mercy of Lord Krishna, but this mercy actually flows through Balaram. So when we seek mercy of the Lord, his mercy comes through Lord Balaram. When we are looking at empowerment, that also comes through Lord Balaram. We may have different capabilities, but those capabilities, how to use it, is coming from Lord Balaram. So let's look at it. Lord Krishna provides us knowledge. Lord Balaram enables us to use that knowledge to serve Lord Krishna. So that is realization. This is where knowledge becomes realization. And when the realization happens, we get immense pleasure. And that is because Radharani is the source of that pleasure. And Lord Balaram is that Ram. Initially, it is Lord Balaram, because of whom we get this pleasure, and the love of Godhead is through Radharani, who is the pleasure potency of Lord Krishna. So when we want to approach Lord Krishna, we can get everything except bhakti. And if we want bhakti, who do we have to approach? We have to approach Lord Balaram. So, Brahmabhuta prasannatma, na shochati. And one who is in the Brahmabhuta stage, he is always happy and he does not lament about the past. Na kankshati. And he does not aspire for something in the future. So he's not living in the past, not living in the future. So where is he living? There is only one place, present. Yes. Mad bhakti lavate param. So Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na shochati na kankshati samaha sarveshu bhuteshu. And he is equally disposed to all living entities. He sees everyone with equal eye. Right? So we have to understand Vidya Vinaya Sampanne Brahmane Gavihastini Shuni Chaiva Shopakecha Pandita Samadarshina. That equal vision is described in this. That one who is a Pandit, one who is in true knowledge, that this knowledge is coming from Lord Krishna, but that vision, the ability to see through this knowledge is coming from Lord Balaram. So, Vidya Vinaya Sampanne, Brahman, a Brahman who also has super soul in the heart. Gavi, a cow, also has super soul in the heart. Hastini, an elephant, Shunicheva Shopakecha, and a dog eater and a dog, a chandal and a dog. All of them, all living entities generally have Supreme Personality as Super Soul in the heart, an expansion. Shunicheva Shopakecha, Pandita Samadashina. Such a Pandit sees everyone with equal vision. And this is what has been referred in this Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma verse. Sama Sarveshu Bhuteshu. But what are the activities? Mad Bhakti Lavate Param. They are engaged in my loving devotional service. Now, sometimes people may feel like, oh, but we want to be master. So, how do we become master? Well, the prayer is to serve Lord Krishna. So, we have to understand that the most powerful person wants to serve Lord Krishna. And this is the reason, because we became envious of Lord Krishna. That's why we are in this material world. But those who are engaged in Lord Krishna's service, who are engaged in devotional service, all you devotees, you are engaged in hearing Hari Katha. So you cannot be in the material world. You have to be in spiritual world because that is the mood. Again, it is a mindset. You don't have to wait for death to attain Vaikuntha. You can be in Vaikuntha when you are engaged in service of Lord Krishna. And this empowerment comes through Lord Balaram. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So sometimes it's very interesting that people are looking at it from that perspective. So we talked about the effect of Kali age. But then what is good in this Kali age? Then Shukdev Goswami reveals to Parikshit Maharaj, Kalera dosh didhe rajan hastiya eka mahan guna kirtana deva krishnasya mukta sangha param vrajet. So this Kali age may be an ocean of faults, but it has one great quality. What is that great quality? Right? Kirtanad eva Krishnasya. Eva refers to exclusively of Lord Krishna. What of Lord Krishna? Kirtan, glorification of Lord Krishna. Mukta Sangha, we can disentangled, we rise above this material platform. So of course, above material platform is translated platform. Mukta Sangha Param Vrajet. And we are residing in the supreme abode, in the shelter of Adi Guru, Lord Balaram. So again, Lord Balaram is very, very important. Now, sometimes people like to hear how he is important from stories. So let's look at Ramayana. Sugriv met Lord Ramchandra when Ram and Lakshmana were looking for Mother Sita. At that time, Hanuman went in a disguised form to test, and he said, oh, you're my lordship, Lord Ramchandra and Lakshmana. Please come. And he introduced them to Sugriv. Now, sometimes people even think that Hanuman was all powerful. Why did he bring Lord Ramchandra and Lakshmana to Sugriv? Well, who is the spiritual master of Hanuman? Vivaswan, the sun god. Yes. And Sugriv happens to be the son of sun god. So he says, my dear disciple Hanuman, I want you to go and help my son who has been ridden out of his kingdom by his elder brother Vali. So that's why Hanuman was serving. So this is where the mood of service is visible. And when Sugriv saw Lord Ramchandra, he said, okay, he did not know who Lord Ramchandra is. So he said, he was glorifying how strong Vali is. And he's saying, can we have a trade exchange? You help me conquer Vali and I help you find Mother Sita. Now, sometimes people say, wait a minute, this is a trade exchange going on. And it's very interesting that it's happening right in the middle of a great epic. Yes, the drama was already written by Valmiki. Lord Krishna took the role of Lord Ramchandra, and so he's carrying out the role so perfectly that people are bewildered. How could Ram feel shoka? He is Atma Ram, right? He is always self-satisfied. Even to give birth to Lord Brahma, he doesn't need Lakshmi. The lotus sprouts from his navel, and Lord Brahma is born. So how could such a personality be? It's his acting, it's his quality of being a perfect actor. If there is number one actor in this world, of course, none other than Lord Krishna. So he's performing the role of Lord Ramchandra. And Balaram is in the role of Lakshmana, the younger brother of Lord Ram, who gets angry anytime anybody is, even the moment he feels Ram's position is threatened, he comes into action. That's because of the sankarshan, he's got this attractive energy. And we also understand that the power of gravity, the gravitational force, is another reflection of Lord Balaram's potency. So Sugriv, knowing that Lord Ramchandra is more powerful than Vali, he garlanded Ramchandra, gave him a nice seat and so, but he neglected Lakshman. So when it came the time for Sugriv to go and fight with Vali, Ram did not shoot his arrow. So Sugriv was almost near death in this fight, and he ran out of from the wrestling spot. And he came back. He's like, Vali would have killed me. What were you doing? Why didn't you kill him? Lord Ram said that you two brothers are identical. What if I had shot you by mistake? So there must be a way to distinguish you. So he says, okay, how can I be distinguished? So Lord Ram at that point gave a solution. Sometimes, even Krishna has to show how to get shelter of Lord Balaram, right? Brahmar bhavite kauna bhagyavana jiva, Guru Krishna prasada paya bhakti lata bija. We are all wandering in this material world. But by the help of Chaitya Guru, the super soul in our heart, we get present Guru. So Lord Ramchandra says, you should garland Lakshman. And when he would actually garland you, that will give. So when Lakshman garlands Sugriv, that's where Sugriv gets the empowerment from Lord Balaram. So it is very important, my dear devotees, that we respect the Guru, we respect the spiritual master, because through spiritual master comes empowerment, comes the ability. Yes, we may have the skill, we may have the knowledge, but it will not manifest as realization. And unless it becomes realization, how can we experience the bliss that we have been looking for? Not the material bliss, which is like spark in the dark. If we want eternal bliss, that glowing bliss, that comes by the mercy of Guru again. And so when now Sugriv being garlanded by Lakshman, fought with Vali, Lord Ramchandra killed Vali. And yes, we know that Lord Ramchandra and Krishna, they make an arrangement as if so that materialists are not disturbed. They said Vali was born later as Jara, the hunter, who actually hit Lord Krishna's, the ankle, the eri, the lower part of the feet, thinking it's a deer behind the bushes. And so, that event was over. So it's a tit for tat is there. But in reality, Lord Krishna, he just uses Yog Maya to create another body, who's apparently appearing like while he is going back to his abode. And the demigods saw that, and they glorified the Lord for having performed this pastime of delivering the burden of earth. Now, there were two types of burdens of earth. There is burden of earth because of the Asurik, the demons who are posing as kings. This is what Bhumi was afraid of. But there was also a burden of love. And this burden of love were the Yadu dynasty, the eternal associates of Lord, the Vrindavan Vasis, the eternal associates of Lord. And they were all, they all went back with Lord Krishna. And many of the living entities who had been great devotees of the Lord, they also went back. So again, we see that all this is happening because of Lord Balaram. So sometimes it may be a general tendency. A devotee could be praying very intensely, Balaram, Prabhu, please give me strength. Nityananda, Prabhu, please give me strength. Yes, in Chaitanya Charitamrita, Lord Balaram appears as Nityananda, Prabhu. So next morning, when, this is what happens. We're always chanting, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We are asking for service. And it is by the, empowerment of Lord Balaram that we get service. So next morning, the temple president asked this devotee, Prabhu, we need help moving these 20 chairs. Now the devotee replied, oh, actually, when I prayed for strength, I meant inner strength. Then he was all asked to tolerate another devotee. You want? Then he said, no. I meant strength for chanting the holy name. Then during chanting, his mind was restless, wandering, right? And he said, Prabhu, Perhaps we should clarify the terms of these blessings. This is a trade exchange like Sugriv did, but he could not succeed unless he was blessed by Lord Balaram. Sometimes we pray for spiritual strength, but when Krishna sends the exercise equipment to use that strength, we send it back. So Balaram's mercy does not always arrive as a mystical feeling. Sometimes it arrives as an instruction we would rather avoid, right? Like in this devotee, or a responsibility we would rather delegate, or a relationship requiring patience and love and care, or a service requiring us to become bigger than our excuses. My dear devotees, Lord Balaram, he possesses the power of Godhead. And as the Supreme Personality of Sarvita Godhead, he is showing us how to serve Lord Krishna. Let's look at the example of Nityananda Prabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared. Nityananda Prabhu had already appeared. Nityananda Prabhu, again, there are two different versions that exist. In one case, he is said to be a disciple of Lakshmipati, almost same, he god brother of Madhavendra Puri. Madhavendra Puri was the spiritual master of Ishwapuri, and Ishwapuri was spiritual master of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And if Chaitanya Prabhu was god brother of Madhavendra Puri, he's at a much higher position from that perspective, right? But at the same time, he was serving Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. That mood of service is visible. He wasn't saying, no, 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 I am like grandfather level guru for you. No, he was not saying that. He's always eager to serve. And so he would go where nobody is able to go before. Sometimes we hear, when we were kids, we used to watch Star Wars, like, okay, these two guys are going everywhere and no man has gone before. Nityananda Prabhu did that much before. He approached Jagai and Madhai, the most fallen personalities of his Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's times. These were the two Brahmana men, and they were using Vedas to find what are the most grievous sins that one could perform, and they were performing those sins just for fun. So Nityananda Prabhu approached them, and Jagai and Madhai, they became angry, and Madhai threw his wine pot that hit Nityananda Prabhu on the forehead, and the blood started oozing out. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, he invoked his Sudarshan. He was about to kill. Madhai and Jagai said, "Oh, my dear Lord, please forgive him. He was drunk." And Nityananda Prabhu said, "My dear Lord, you have appeared to deliver the most fallen. You cannot, this is to remove the symptoms. You cannot just kill them as you did as your other incarnations. You should deliver them." So at that particular time, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, because the plea came through Lord Nityananda Prabhu, none other than Balaram, he agreed. And so he blessed these two Brahmanas, who actually became great devotees. As a repentance, in the mood of repentance, they took the service of washing the feet of all the sages who were visiting Ganga Ghat, the bank of Ganges. And they were, again, Jagai, of course, as you can understand, is coming from Jagannatha. So again, that's his name, but he was known as Jagai. Sometimes people have this habit of changing their name to be more trendy or more, famous. Sandeep comes to US, it becomes a Sandy. So all these things that we are seeing, this name changing, actually started back in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time. Even there, Jagannath became Jagai and Madhav became Madhai. And so this is how the trend has been going on. But we should understand that it is a great boon when we take shelter of Lord Balaram. We seek blessings of Lord Balaram, just like these two personalities who actually attained perfection. So this is the potency, but they didn't just attain perfection on their own. They attained perfection because of being empowered by Lord Balaram, being empowered by Nityananda Prabhu, and performing pure devotional service. And service to the Vaishnavas is greater than directly service to Krishna. And of course, when we talk about Vaishnava Nam Yatha Shambhu, the greatest Vaishnava is Lord Shambhu, Shiva. And who is the worshipable deity of Shiva? Who is he meditating on? We see Shiva having Rudrakshmana, he is meditating on some personality. This personality is none other than Sankarshan. So Shiva is meditating on Lord Sankarshan. It is through Sankarshan he gets the destructive power. Even Lord Shiva is getting this power through Sankarshan. And of course, the Purusharthas, we know Garbhodakshay Vishnu, from his from his navel sprouts this lotus flower on which Brahma is born. Another expansion of Lord Balaram. So it's very interesting. The moods are different, the activities are different, but the first expansion from Lord Krishna was Lord Balaram. So we have to look from this perspective that the whole infrastructure, the whole arrangement has been created in the material world. If a man says, okay, I don't want anyone, and he is just placed in a 8 by 8 room, nothing is there, no food, nothing, he doesn't want anyone, he doesn't want anything, he will become morose in 4 or 5 hours. Sometimes because of hunger, sometimes because of no human contact. So many personalities are known to have fallen from their platform because they could not have a peer level contact, no human contact with equal standing. So Lord Krishna, when he appeared, he was the only Anadir Adir Govinda. No one is older than Lord Krishna. And Adir Govinda, he is the oldest person. Sarva Karan Karanam, he is the cause of all causes. So when he wanted to enjoy, because that's the tendency, Anand Bhaya Abhyasat, we are all seeking happiness. So of course, this tendency to seek happiness came from none other than Lord Balaram. And so Lord Krishna, when he was seeking happiness, immediately the first expansion of Lord Balaram to make arrangement for that happiness. And then Radharani expansion came because he was so much looking at his own reflection in Lord Krishna, the pleasure potency expanded as Radharani. So we talk about Sandhini, the infrastructure, the whole paraphernalia. A parent, they want children to enjoy. Everything has purpose, and all this is because we're all seeking happiness in this material. Even a materialistic person is seeking happiness. How do they get happy? Because sometimes they are looking for name, fame, and glories, and they get this name, fame, and glories because of the potency of Lord Balaram. We are able to sustain ourselves in this material world because of the potency of Lord Balaram. So Sankarshan is the presiding deity of Lord Shiva. And what is Sankarshan doing? When he was asked to carry the weight of all the universes, at that time Sankarshan said, okay, how long do I have to keep it on my head? He asked this question. Again, he's going to do it unlimitedly because it gives pleasure to Krishna. But he teaches us by asking this question. What is he asking? And then he gets a response that you should glorify Lord Krishna, sing his pastimes. And so he had been for eternity glorifying Lord Krishna and his pastimes, and yet he hasn't had the time to rest because as soon as he thinks that he has come to the edge, Lord Krishna's pastimes expand unlimitedly. And that's the glory. Means again, this is where Lord Balaram is making such arrangement that Lord Krishna's glories are expanding so that his own expansions are never, and this is not from one mouth he's glorifying from thousands of mouths. Sankarshan is glorifying Lord Krishna's different pastimes and he cannot catch up. He's still carrying those universes just because the pastimes are ever expanding. Hari Ananta, Hari Katha Ananta. So my dear devotees, let's quickly look at Balaram's framework. I just put it as an acronym. I said, you know what, I have been creating acronyms. So why not create an acronym based on the Supreme Personality of Servitor Godhead, Lord Balaram? So Bala means being established. We talked about this, Sandhini, the instability to grounding. That's the transformation. So when we are unstable, we should immediately take shelter of Lord Balaram. We should immediately take shelter of Nityananda Prabhu, who is not different from Lord Balaram, so that we get properly grounded in our spiritual practices. A is referring to Adi Guru. He is the original Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the original Adi Guru. So when we accept Bala means the spiritual strength. From self-reliance, being independent, we come to the grace-powered strength, right? Interdependence. This is where the association matters. And L is for learn and live, right? So Lord Krishna gives us information that He is our Supreme Father. Aham Bij Pradha Pita. I am the Supreme Father, and all these living entities are my Bij, my children. But that realization comes when the child engages in serving Father, and that life, that realization comes through Lord Balaram. And further, another A, the second A is Ananya Seva, right? What's the preference? Sometimes people have preference to position, name, fame, and glories. From there, the transformation is to come to the level of service, because that's where true happiness lies. This position, name, fame, and glories will only cause frustration, because you'll always aspire for something in the future and lament, if I had a better position in the past. This is what aham mameti, the envy and lust. They rise when we look at preferences, our preferences. While when we engage in service, Lord Balaram is saying, how many different ways can I serve Lord Krishna? So he's expanding in so many ways. And R in Balaram is resolve, right? Excitement, that's to sustainable determination. Excitement is like a spike, it comes and it goes. But sustainable determination is उत्साह निश्चया धैर्य तत्त कर्म प्रवर्तना संग त्यागा सतोवृत्ति sadbir bhakti prasiddhati. So what are the 6 symptoms of increasing one's devotional service? They have been given, and that's all coming from Lord Balaram. Utsaha, great enthusiasm. Nishchaya, great determination. Dhairya, patience. Tat karma pravatana, the process of devotional service. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. The 9 process of devotional service. And Sangatyaga, so Sat Sangatyaga. This is like the giving up the material association. Sato Vritte, following on the footsteps of Acharyas, who following the instructions. So there are 2 ways one can follow. One is Anukaran and another one is Anusharan. Anukaran is imitation. That's not good. Right? We should not just because Lord Balaram dressed in blue, just say, oh, I have become Lord Balaram because I'm dressed in blue. No, that's not the mood. We have to understand Lord Balaram's mood is to always remember Krishna and never forget Krishna. And that's his, and through his service he's showing. That's not about remembrance, it's about serving. That's how you constantly remember. A mother is serving a child because she's constantly thinking of the child. So that always remember Krishna reflects through service. It is visible that we always remember Krishna through engagement in service. And so that resolve comes in. And then finally, accountability. The third A is on accountability, right? We should not be looking at excuses, but rather we should be looking at accountability. We should be looking at taking ownership to serve. And finally, Lord has many forms. M is for many forms, but one mission, right? Instead of position, focus on a purpose. What is our purpose? Jivera Surupaya Krishna Nityadas. We are eternal servant of Krishna. And Lord Balaram, he is not different from Krishna. He has all the same potencies, yet he is acting as Krishna Nityadas. So we should learn from him. He is the true original Adi Acharya. He is the original Acharya. And what happens? The final A is, of course, through Balaram, we can have access to Radha and Krishna, right? When strength, we get the spiritual strength and we get the knowledge that transforms into loving service. Sometimes very interesting, people talk about advanced devotion, right? Basing alarm clock, they talk about. So one devotee says, Prabhu, I am interested in advanced stages of bhakti. Sometimes adgal kagri chalkat jai, we see that people who are immature, they directly want to get to that top level position. And then somebody could ask this devotee, wonderful, so how are your morning rounds? He says, that's still under development. You can get a hint what's going on here. How's your hearing when you're chanting? Currently inconsistent. And how about your service? I'm waiting to discover my higher calling. Sometimes we want the penthouse of prema while negotiating, while we really need is a ground floor. Get grounded in things. So we have to understand what appears spiritually basic is often spiritually foundational. Right? So what do we learn from Lord Balaram? That we have to become stable, well-founded, well-situated, well-established. We have to become established. We have to have steady chanting. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And sometimes we hear some of the devotees chanting really loudly. It's not that they want to hear loudly, but sometimes they want everyone to hear that they are chanting. No, our chanting is meant to hear attentively. So that is called attentive chanting. We are pronouncing it very clearly. We are calling out to the Lord in a prayerful mood, and at the same time hearing that, so that through the ear, Lord Krishna enters our heart. And that's where we get his steady association of Lord Balaram, that empowerment. And through this empowerment comes the service. We get steady service. We get constant mood to seek service, to seek opportunities. Not that others have to call us. We are self-motivated. When we talk about that self-motivated, is actually Lord Balaram's motivation that empowers us. And what does this do? When we are engaged in service, we have moral conduct. We cannot be diverted by the material energy, because Lord Krishna says that those who are Mahatmas, they are under the shelter of my higher potency. And those who are in material world, material consciousness, they are under the shelter of material energy, Mahamaya, sometimes referred to as Goddess Durga. But she is a great Vaishnavi. She is not at fault. We are at fault by having the wrong desires. So now with the moral conduct, we can establish our connection with Guru and Vaishnava through the mercy of Adi Guru Balaram. So sometimes we ask, right, how high am I going? But before asking how high am I going, Balaram is asking us, how deeply are you rooted? Right? Because if we do not have a strong foundation and we are just building one floor after another, the whole building is not going to survive. It's going to lose its footing. Even a storm does not, during a storm, a tree does not survive, because if it doesn't have proper footing, right? And it may look very impressive that it's tall, it's got lots of leaves and whatnot, but it survives because its roots are deep, or its association is deep. So again, redwood forest, the trees are huge, the width is amazing, but they don't have depth, but they have association. They're all interconnected and holding each other together. That's another way of surviving, right? So similarly, spiritual life is not sustained merely by occasional inspiration. It's sustained by regular connection, either deep into the roots deep into the ground, or in proper association. So Lord Balaram is the Adi Guru, right? Sometimes knowledge is not enough. We need strength to live what we know. Right? Sometimes we may have the skill, but we may not have the will to do things. So there is, sometimes we talk about spiritual GPS. Devotee puts his destination into GPS. The GPS says, turn right. But the devotee says, I don't resonate with that instruction. And the moment they take a different route, GPS says, recalculating. This is another way we can see that recalculating is Lord Balaram saying, oh, where we are, so that's to give us direction from we are. And it is reflected pervertly through GPS. And the devotee replies, oh, see, even the GPS is confused. Well, you confuse the GPS by not following the instruction. And then after 40 minutes, he's complaining, this navigation system doesn't work. Well, sometimes we approach Guru similarly. We want guidance, but preferably guidance that confirms the route we have already planned in our head, in our mind. And that's not how instructions work. Guru does not merely give us information. Guru gives us direction to our life, so that we can take the faster path back home, back to Godhead. In Hari Katha, in Hari Leela. So Balaram gives that strength to follow that direction. So that will to be able to follow direction, even of our spiritual master, comes by the mercy of Lord Balaram. And Srila Prabhupada reveals that Krishna gives the sword of knowledge, but Balaram supplies the strength needed to will it. What if somebody has given you a sword, but it's so heavy for you, you can't even lift it? Then pray to Lord Balaram that, my dear Lord Balaram, give me the strength to lift this so that I can wield it, I can use it with proper purpose. So this is practical aspect, my dear devotees. And most spiritual practitioners, they don't suffer primarily from lack of information. We already know we should chant attentively. We already know that we should follow the four regulatory principles. We know that we should not be engaged in three C's. What are those three C's? We should not be engaged in criticism. We should not be comparing. We should not be complaining, right? So avoid these unnecessary things. And we should be more forgiving, just like Nityananda Prabhu. He shows by his example. He, forgave Jagai and Madhai for attacking him. We should be controlling our tongue. We should be in the mood of service. Controlling your tongue doesn't mean just, hold your tongue with the teeth and just sit quietly. Now, if you've got nothing else to do, chant the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And if you have a book, read, right? And we have to make sure that our association is proper, right? Sometimes the difficulty is, I know, but I still don't do it. And sometimes people say, well, I don't have time. Well, you are not empowered, it's very clear. Because the gap between knowing and doing is where we need Lord Balaram's Bala, the spiritual strength, right? So here, Lord Balaram, he is the source of this Samved, the empowerment, which reveals the truth of who we are. The Guru, the spiritual master, explains that truth. But Balaram gives us the strength to live the truth. So again, Guru Tattva is not just giving us direction, also giving us empowerment. And we have to learn and live, just like, sometimes people have this certified humility. The tendency of current times, the way people are looking at knowledge is they learn something, they get certified, and they want to acquire a position. That's the shortcut way of misery. A devotee, he promptly announces, you know what, I just completed my humility seminar. So someone asks, has it helped? He said, absolutely. I got the highest score in the whole class. Spiritual education becomes dangerous when the certificate advances faster than the character. So Krishna and Balaram at Sandipuni Muni's Gurukula. Let's look at that scene. Srimadbhagavatam, and of course Srila Prabhupada also provided Krishna book, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What does it say in that? That Krishna and Balaram, they learned the 64 arts in 64 days and nights. And they could learn each subject simply by hearing it once. Yet their extraordinary capacity did not make them arrogant students. Actually, they already knew that knowledge, but at the same time, they're showing us by their example. As a great person performs, general populace follows. So he's showing by his example. And then they honored the Guru. They learned attentively. These are the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I use the word, these are the Supreme Personality of Godhead, one person. They learned attentively, right? So they were fully attentive to the instruction they are getting while they are the source of that instruction themselves. And they offered Guru Dakshina. They want to serve Guru. They are showing by the example. So what does this learning conclude in? Not in saying, I have graduated, I have got such a diploma, I have got such a degree, but in service. Great model. What a model they are showing, right? The world may say, I learned more, therefore I should receive more recognition. But Balaram, what is it teaching us? I learned more, therefore I should become more useful. I should serve more. So for professional students, parents, leaders, and devotees alike, what's the lesson can we take? Education has reached maturity when competence becomes contribution. Now, this is something we should take very closely in our heart. Not looking at what position do I have, but what does Krishna need? Putting Krishna in the center, not ourselves. Sometimes we have this tendency of saying, not my department. a devotee sees water spilled outside the temple room, and he's thinking, let me carefully walk around this. And says, facilities department, right? An elderly guest is searching for a chair to sit on. It's like, yeah, that's hospitality department. They should come and help this old person. And sometimes someone needs prasadam carried. And I was like saying, oh, you want to carry this? Kitchen department, contact them. And then he sits in the class and hears, Jivera Sarupaya Krishnera Nityadas. Suddenly he wonders, maybe my eternal constitution person is actually departmental observer, right? Balaram he expands in unlimited forms because he's looking for more opportunities to serve Krishna. As Shesha, he supports. As Sankarshan, he expands. He becomes the bed of Lord Krishna. As Balaram, he assists Lord Krishna in his pastimes. As Nityananda Prabhu, he is distributing mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, of Harinam. And the spiritual question is therefore not only what is my assigned role, it is actually how can my abilities become useful? How can my abilities, my capabilities be of service? Now, this word capable, we are looking at this word capable. It has two meanings if we look at it. One is capable is this is what we can do. And the second one is sometimes people have this ability that everyone recognizes my capability, so I am capable, everybody knows. So they put a cap on their able. So all their abilities are under cap and they fail to perform. So we should look at how can our abilities become useful, not just us, but everything that belongs to us. That should remain coordinated and we should act responsibly. Right? But at the same time, when the service should remain internally, we should understand my talents belong to Seva. My intelligence, my money, my voice, my technical expertise, my relationships, my influence, ability to influence should be to promote Lord Krishna's mission, to promote, my Gurudev's instructions. And my experience and my time should be devoted in Hari Katha, in hearing. Actually, if we pay attention to major preachers out there, most of them, we hear 4 times than what we speak. So this is an important formula to take. More hearing empowers us by the mercy of Lord Balaram to be able to speak. Otherwise, we have no ability to speak. So everyone can do this and everything can become paraphernalia for Krishna's pleasure, right? We talked about Sahan, Nishayat, Dhairyat. So that's the resolve, right? It's not the 3-day renunciation. It is eternal renunciation, eternal engagement. After an inspiring festival, one devotee announces, starting tomorrow, rounds before 4:30, 2 hours reading, no gossip, no anger, daily book distribution, full fasting twice a week. So 3 days later, someone asks him, how's your spiritual revolution going? He replies, currently I'm focusing on dhairya, patience. Sometimes our enthusiasm travels 120 miles an hour, but then our sustainability is waiting at a bus stop. So this is where we have to understand how things have to be put in proper perspective. Now, accountability is a very important thing. So accountability is we should hold ourselves accountable and we should continue to do this. Not like the 6 Sevakadhamas as a mirror. Now, did you know that I'm continuing to go beyond for those who are interested in hanging around because this is a very important topic. We're glorifying Lord Balaram. And sorry, we tend to forget the very sense of time because the glories are going on so wonderfully. Alirabano Jyotishaha Stabdhi Bhuta Kime Kaha Preshita Preshikash Chaiva Sad Ete Sevakadhamaha. So there are 6 kind of fallen devotees, fallen sevaks, fallen personalities. And who are these? Ali, a bumblebee servant. Devotee, he loves to eat. So he loves kitchen seva when halwa is being prepared. So, and when there is a big distribution announcing that there is pizza prasadam, he goes for big distribution for 2 hours. And suddenly he performs a profound realization, my eternal service is Sankirtan. And then another department has Gulab Jamun, he constitutional progression shifts again. So that's like a bumblebee, wherever there is higher taste. They're looking at higher taste, but in reality, they're looking at the tongue, being driven by tongue. Their services are driven by tongue. So the bee asks, where can I extract nectar? So similarly, the servant asks, where can I provide service should be the mode, but they're looking at service where their intention is being served, the purpose is being served. Bhana is the arrow servant, the second kind of servant. And our service leader says, could this please be completed by 6 o'clock? And devotee says, your planning methodology is fundamentally defective. It's not going to work. And for 20 minutes, he explains all the leader's shortcomings. The leader is experiencing this arrow coming back. Sometimes the leader is afraid to approach such a bhana, the arrow servant, arrow devotees, because the time is wasted and the work is still not done. And Krishna is definitely not happy. So, such a devotee may be like an arrow, but he feels very satisfied. At least I established the truth. I said what I needed to see. Well, you destroyed a whole relationship. You destroyed the precious time that was meant to serve Krishna. So it's possible to perform service while piercing the person we serve with. Sometimes that is also the attitude they take. Being technically right does not justify being rationally destructive. This it's better to be kind than being right. Simple principle. Now the third kind of fallen devotee is a Jyotishaka, the astrologer servant. Someone asks, can you arrange the chairs? And he says, yes, certainly, sure. But let us wait for the auspicious planetary alignment. The class begins, everyone remains standing. Sometimes the most auspicious muhurta is when legitimate service have already been requested. That's the most auspicious time because that's, transcendental. Procrastination often dresses itself in a very respectable clothing. And now, Stabdhi Bhuta, the inactive servant, the lazy servant. A devotee is sometimes asked, could you move these cushions? And he replies, I'm mentally preparing myself to do this. Yes. 10 minutes later, still preparing. Finally explains, I have realized these cushions are temporary. The Maya, everything is temporary. No, it just changes form. You misunderstood. The spiritual philosophy should not become an intellectual excuse for inactivity, for laziness. Real realization moves the hands and feet into service. Kime kakaha, the helpless delegator. Now, this is interesting when someone is asking, could you put these 5 books on that table? He looks concerned. Alone? Someone replies, Prabhu, they are paperback books. He says, but devotional service should be performed in association. I'm looking for association and delegate it to others. So association should empower initiative, not manufacture helplessness. Last but not the least, Preshita Preshaka, the task passer. A devotee is asked to refill the water dispenser. He asks someone else to do this. And that devotee asks someone else, the third person, to do this. The third person creates a WhatsApp group. The group schedules a meeting called Hydration Seva Coordination. Meanwhile, the dispenser remains empty. And people are coming, they don't have water to drink. Later, the original devotee walks past and says, nobody takes responsibility anymore. Well, he was the beginner. He set the example as an acharya to delegate, so everyone delegated. Leadership begins when responsibility stops traveling and service starts happening. So after describing all these 6, suddenly I realized that there is a 7th kind also. These are much safer than the one who is actually thinking that these 6 other devotees I can name who are acting as these 6 sevaka adhamas, the fallen sevaks. So we should be very careful not to even go into the 7th category. These 6 categories are for us to improve ourselves. These are for introspection. The whole process of Krishna consciousness is to get away from Kamsa consciousness and come to the level of spiritual consciousness, Vasudeva consciousness. That everything should be done for Lord Krishna. And Vasudeva Sarvamiti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. That Lord Vasudeva is the source of all, and such a person is very intelligent. And even a great Jnani comes to this after many, many births, right? And so we have to understand that yes, we may have the knowledge, but to be able to put that knowledge and turn it into realization, we have to take shelter of Lord Balaram. Shri Lord Balaram Dauji ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Kori Vaishnavinda ki jai. So my dear devotees, Balaram Jayanti, again, ki Shubhkamnaएं. Many happy Balaram Jayanti to you all, and may you all get the mercy of Lord Balaram. May you all get the mercy of Nityananda Prabhu and continue to progress in your devotional service unlimitedly. And remember that many forms but one mission is the role. So we should be looking at how to please Krishna so that through Lord Balaram we can finally get access to Shri Radha Krishna. That simply starts with the chanting of the holy name. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Ananta Kori Vaishnavinda ki jai, Nitai Go Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Tat Sat. Have a wonderful week in Krishna consciousness. Hare Krishna. Om Tat Sat.